My name is Uwe Elger. I'm one of the fire engineers of BASF SE's fire department in Ludwigshafen. BASF is the world's leading chemical company, and over here in Ludwigshafen we have the biggest chemical production plant worldwide, and we as the fire service are responsible for any kind of fire or product releasing emergency responses. Most of our job that we are carrying out are technical based. That means we are more or less a technical and service unit, and this is why we are very interested and try to develop and also looking around all the time for technical solutions which make steps forwards for us, for our job, and to save our firefighters in real emergency situations. One of the appliances that we are using now for 3 or 4 years is a Cobra from Cold Cut Systems in Sweden, and especially together with our robot unit, it's a very, very good part to, for example, release pressure from unintended chemical reactions, to cut off drums which are overblown or other situations. Bringing out our service and also the emergency response worldwide on the transportways inside the TUI system or the ICE system, and also if chemicals involved produced by our daughter companies worldwide. And so it is necessary to have perfect material to carry out perfect response and to reduce influences to people, to the environment, and at least the world in which we are living for. So after, in the meantime, using the Cobra from Cold Cut Systems in Sweden 4 years, we have a lot of experience with this appliance, and it was very, very helpful and has a really high valuable for our emergency response system in the meantime. A Cobra in combination with a robot gives us the opportunity to bring a distance, a safe distance between us and our firefighters in some of the situations, and this is a huge benefit which could be only created from a combination of technology like we have over there.
We are a Dutch-based salvage company, and we are involved in a lot of ships fire. We make a decision many years ago to buy two Cobra systems to base that worldwide on our operations. And we ship it out to all our emergency fire operations. We encounter a lot of problems to be very quickly on shore, so the size of the equipment is very important. The big advantage to use a Cobra system is it is not necessary to enter the vessel or to go into, by example, the accommodation, and we can penetrate through the steel plate of, by example, the place where the heat is at that moment, and we can extinguish very easy the fire with very less water. And that is very important to use less water than in the past, especially for the stability of the vessel, because every liter of water what you bring into the vessel you have to pump it out later, or you have a lot of problems with the stability. We use the system now for approximately 4 years. Still we are improving the system together with the guys from Cobra, and we use it now on several occasions, and it is so worthwhile for us as a company, and we see the big advantage of it, that maybe in the near future we will expand the amount of Cobras worldwide also to our bases in Cape Town, Singapore and in Houston, to be ready for any disaster on the seas.
When I started at FMV, the Swedish Defence Material Administration, in the beginning of 2001, I met Lars Larsson from CCS, and he told me about this new invention called cutting extinguisher. And it sounded marvelous because it's a high risk to put out fires on board the ships. We wanted to have a safer method to put out fires, because our sailors on board the ships, they are not firefighters. Of course they have education, they know how to fight a fire, but they are mainly sailors. And we did a lot of tests and trials with the cutting extinguishers to see how effective this cutting extinguisher was. And we found out that was the solution for our Navy to get a safer environment and to get equipment that could put out fire without risk the crew's health and safety. In the beginning of 2009, we bought our two first systems with the cutting extinguishers to our corvettes Stockholm and Malmö, was going down to Aden Bay to fight pirates. Hopefully in the future we won't need to do any BA attacks because we could use the cutting extinguisher as a first attack. And I think that this cutting extinguisher would be a splendid tool even for the merchant fleet, because they have lesser crews than we have in the Navy, and they have lesser time for education than we have in the Navy. So I think for the merchant fleet this would be splendid if they had the cutting extinguishers on board their ships also. The crew on board the ships felt much safer when they had the cutting extinguisher on board and could do the first attack with that instead of doing a BA attack. Now in 2010 we have 4 units on board our corvettes, and hopefully next year we will have 5 more units on board our new Visby class corvettes.
We've got a fire in a room. The firefighter comes along.